Hello everyone, this is Team Homeopathy MCQs. Today we are taking Introduction to Basic Human Anatomy, Definitions and Anatomical Positions. So these are only the introductory lectures. So before understanding the basic of human anatomy, you must know what is the anatomy. Anatomy is the study of the structures of the body. The word anatomy is derived from the Greek word and means to cut up or to cut open. Anatomists examine the relationships among parts of the body among with the structure of individual organs. Second definition is embryology. Embryology is the study of developmental changes of the body before birth. So this is the definition of human anatomy. Now we will discuss about the anatomical studies. So first is the microscopic anatomy. It is the study of structures that cannot be seen with the unaided eyes. You need a microscope, means the anatomy of cells and tissues. Second, the gross anatomy by systems. It is the study of organs that forming the systems such as the respiratory system or the digestive systems. So in this anatomy, we will study about the different organs related to the particular system. Example like digestive system and the respiratory systems. Third anatomical study is a gross anatomy by regions. It is the study of anatomical structures present in each region such as the trunk, upper limbs or lower limbs. Next fourth one is neuroanatomy. So this is the studies of nervous system. Next is the functional anatomy. So it is the study of relationship between functions and structures. Third point, organization of the human body. The human body is organized into cells, tissues, organs, systems, and the total organism. So it contains cells are the smallest living unit of body construction. Second, the tissue is a grouping of like cells working together. Examples are muscle tissue and nervous tissue. So tissue is known as a group of a particular type of cells. Next is an organ. It is a structure composed of several different tissues performing a particular function. Example, the lungs and the heart. Systems are the groups of organs which together perform an overall function. Example are the respiratory system and the digestive system. Next, the total organism. It is the individual human being. So this is the division by organization of the human body. This is the picture. It starts from cell, then tissue, organ and systems and full human body. Now we will discuss about the regions of the human body. The human body is a single total composite. Each part acts as association with all other parts. These regions are head and neck, back and trunk, and members like limbs. So back and trunk, the torso includes the back and trunk. The trunk includes thorax. Thorax means chest, abdomen, and the pelvic at the lower end of the trunk. The perineum is the portion of the body forming the floor of the pelvis. See the members means the limbs, two upper and two lower limbs. First, each upper limb includes a shoulder, arm, forearm, wrist, and hand. Second, each lower limb includes a hip, thigh, leg, ankle, and foot. So these are the divisions of upper limb and lower limbs and the back and trunk. This is the picture to understand all the divisions. Now we will discuss about the anatomical position. The anatomical position is a posture of human body used as a standard reference throughout the medical profession. We always speak of the parts of the body as if the body were in the anatomical position. The anatomical position is described as follows. First, the body stands erect with heels together. Second, the head faces forward and the eyes looks also forward. Third, the upper limbs are along the sides with the palm of the hands facing forward and the thumb at the right angle with the other fingers. So this is the normal human anatomical position. In this, it is shown the medial border which is near to our body and lateral border which is away from our body. Now we will discuss about the planes of the body. So first, median or mid-sagittal plane. It is the vertical plane in the midline of the body, passes from front to back, that divides the body into equal right and left half. So the picture is shown. Second, the sagittal plane. It is also known as paramedian plane. It is a vertical plane that passes through the body from front to back and divides the body into right and left part. Third, the horizontal or the transverse plane are the parallel to the floor. They are perpendicular to both the sagittal and frontal planes. It divides the body into upper and lower parts. This is the horizontal plane. Second picture. Fourth, the frontal or the coronal planes. The vertical planes which passes through the body from side to side. They are perpendicular to the sagittal plane. It divides the body into anterior and the posterior parts. The third picture is the frontal or the coronal planes. It is the clear picture of the all three planes. First, the sagittal plane, second, the transverse plane, and third, the coronal or the frontal plane. Frontal or the coronal plane, sagittal plane, and transverse or the horizontal plane. These are the pictures of different types of planes. Now we will discuss about the anatomical terminology. The supine position of the body is lying on the back. First picture showing the supine position. So second picture is showing the prone position. The person is lying on face downwards. So these are the supine position and the prone position. Now we will discuss about the directional terms of the body. Directional terms are precise and brief, and for most of them, there is a correlative term that means just the opposite. Here, the relative and directional terms of the body are given. The relative to front or the belly side or the back side of the body. First, the anterior, also known as the ventral, in front of towards the front surface. So first picture is showing the anterior or the ventral side of the body. Second, the posterior or the dorsal, in back of towards the back surface. So the second picture is showing the posterior or the dorsal side of the body. Now, relative to the head or tail of the body. So first, the superior towards the head or above. So the first picture is showing the superior which is facing towards the head or the above. Second, the inferior facing towards feet, not head. So the second picture is showing the inferior side of the body. Next, the caudal at the rear or tail end. Next, the cranial at the head end. So which is at the tail or the near the tail end is known as the caudal, and which is toward the head end is known as the cranial. Now we will discuss about the relative terminology to the middle or center of the body. Here the first terminology is medial. Medial means towards the midline of the body. So the first picture is showing the medial, which is towards the midline of the body. Second, the lateral. It is the away from the midline of the body. So the second picture is showing the arrow signs away from the body. So this is the lateral position. Medial is toward the midline of the body and lateral is away from the midline of the body. Next terminology is deep. On the inside or underneath another structure. Which structures are inside the human body is known as the deep structures. And the next is superficial on the outside of the body. Which structures or the organs are outside of the body are known as the superficial structures. Now we will discuss about the relative to point of attachment to the appendage. So these are the important terminologies which are relative to points of the attachment to the appendages. First is the proximal, which means the closest to point of attachment to trunk. So first picture is showing the proximal and distal, the furthest from point of attachment to trunk. Second picture is showing the distal parts of the body. Now we will discuss about relative and directional terms of the body. These are first the internal, second external, next ipsilateral on the same side, next the contralateral on the opposite side. The terms of movement. Movements के कौन कौन से terms हैं? First the flexion, next extension, next abduction, next adduction, next rotation, next medial rotation, next lateral rotation, next pronation, then supination, next circumduction, next protraction, next retraction, next inversion, and next eversion. So these are the movements of the body. So here the picture is showing all the movements of the body. Now we will discuss about the body regions. The human body is partitioned into two main regions called the axial and appendicular regions. The axial region includes the head, neck, and trunk, which comprise the main vertical axis of the body. Our limbs or appendages attach to the body's axis and make up the appendicular region. So these are the two main regions of the human body, which is known as the axial and appendicular regions. Axial regions include head, neck, and trunk. So head, neck, and trunk is known as the axial region of the body, and the appendicular means which is related to these three regions are known as the appendicular. So this includes the upper limbs and lower limbs. Now we will discuss about the body cavities and membranes. The posterior aspects of the body has two enclosed cavities. First, a cranial cavity. It is formed by a cranium and of the brain. So cranium is also known as the house of the brain, which is the head portion of our body. Second, a vertebral canal is formed by the individual bones of the vertebral columns and contains the spinal cord. The next, the anterior aspect of the body has three enclosed cavities. In picture, you can see the anterior aspect of the body, which contain the three cavities. First, the thoracic cavity. Second, the anatomical cavity. And third, the pelvic cavity. So here you can see the clear picture of these posterior aspects and the anterior aspects of the body. Now we will discuss about body cavities. Both the thoracic and abdominopelvic cavities are lined with thin serous membranes which are composed of two layers. First, a parietal layer lines the internal surface of the body wall. Second, a visceral layer covers the external surface of organs or the viscera within the cavity. Next, between the parietal and visceral layers of the serous membranes is a thin serous cavity containing a lubricating film of serous fluid. The serous fluid reduces friction and helps the organs move smoothly against both one another and the body wall. The median space in the thoracic cavity is called the mediastinum. It contains the heart, thymus, esophagus, trachea, and major blood vessels that connect to the heart. Within the mediastinum, the heart is enclosed by two layered serous membrane called the pericardium. So in this picture, you can see the blue line around the heart is known as the pericardium. Pericardium is also divided into the parietal pericardium and the visceral pericardium. Now we will discuss about the thoracic cavity. The right and the left side of the thoracic cavity contain the lungs and they lined by the two-layered serous membrane called the pleura. So pleura is divided into the outer layer is the parietal pleura. It lines the internal surface of the thoracic wall. And the inner layer is the visceral pleura. It covers the external surface of the lung. The narrow, moist potential space between them is called the pleural cavity. So here the picture of pleura is showing by the blue lines. Now we will discuss about the abdominopelvic cavity. The abdominopelvic cavity consists of the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity. So abdominopelvic cavity has two type of cavities. First, the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity. Peritoneum is the moist two-layer serous membrane that lines the abdominopelvic cavity. You can see the picture of peritoneum in the blue lines in this picture. Okay, thank you so much for joining this live session. We wish for your bright future and successful life. Best of luck all.
Thank you,
Good.
sir.